BioWare has created some epic games in the past: Baldur's Gate, Knights of the Old Republic, and Mass Effect to name a few. Now comes Dragon Age, a game that's every bit as giant as their past efforts. The sheer amount of stuff that you can do in this game is mind-boggling. I've played well over 150 hours and I've only done some of the things that you can do in this game. Yeah, you're really going to have to clear out a few weekends for this one. The story's very good. There's a ton of characters, history, and details that really bring the world to life. The general background is that a group of magic users tried to become gods, got cast down from heaven for their efforts, and became darkspawn who dwell underground. They're looking to resurrect powerful monsters called archdemons to lead them up to the surface and swarm the land. Now obviously, this is bad. You pick one of 6 possible characters and you become a key figure in the resistance. Now I'm glossing over pretty much everything, but you really should know that the story is very gripping and satisfying in the end once you complete it. The first thing you'll notice in the game is the level of customization available to you. There are 3 races, human, elf, and dwarf, who can be one of 3 classes: a warrior, a mage, or a rogue. Each race has 2 different backgrounds that change how the world treats you, and each class has 4 specializations that will grant them special abilities. The impressive part about this is that the backstory of whatever race and background you choose can change the game drastically. In terms of graphics, the game looks really sharp on the PC. There's little pop-in or screen tearing, and there's some really good texture work. Unfortunately, the console versions look a lot muddier and there's a lot more hitches here and there. Now if you have the option, and the computer that can support it, definitely go for the PC one. The music is great, but some of the voice work is hit or miss. It's your typical sea of British accents, with some performers that are quite good, and other performers that don't do nearly as well.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
The game has a unique setup. Each of the 6 characters has an origin story that can be played through in about 45 minutes. Once you get to a main plot point where a giant battle occurs, the entire world opens up further. The combat is as varied as the character customization. Now theoretically, you can play it in real time on the PC, but if anyone does, I want proof of it in video. That's simply because given the sheer amount of enemies you fight, each one with their own unique tactics, and your other party members, playing in real time is practically insane. My preferred way involves tactical pausing. You pause the game, issue a command, and micromanage the whole thing. I stress all of this for the PC, because the console version is really designed around action instead of micromanagement. You have quick slots for skills and a radial wheel to issue commands, and auto-locking targets whenever you get into combat. You should be aware, though, that the heightened focus on action makes the gameplay much easier than it is on the PC. In fact, it's entirely possible to play large chunks of the game without even pausing once. One thing to note, however, is that the console version doesn't have a top-down camera view, which can limit some of your tactical decisions. The console version isn't broken in any way, but I did feel that there was a greater degree of options on the PC side. One great thing in all the versions is how you interact with your party. The decisions that you make during the game will make them like you a little bit more or a little bit less, which can lead them attacking you or potentially even leaving if they really start to hate you. Now if you build a good relationship, they can teach you abilities or unlock side quests. This entire thing is a lot to take in, but all of this affects how you lead your troops. It's really great to see that your actions actually have consequences on your entire party. Dragon Age is a deep game to say the least. I've been going on for a while and I still haven't really scratched the surface. There's a ton to do in the game, and you'll actually want to replay it as different characters just to see the results of different decisions you make. And seeing how BioWare set this game up with expansions and downloadable content in mind, you'll probably be playing this for a really long time. I mean, seriously, like I said at the beginning, I'm 150 hours in and I still want to keep playing. While the PS3 version has more graphical hitches and issues than the 360, it's still an enjoyable action-focused journey throughout Ferelden on the consoles. However, if you want the full tactical experience, you'll definitely want the PC version, which is clearly the best one of this tale. For the full written review, including differences between all 3 versions, head over to IGN.com.